What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Let's have a long, hard look at the market today and do a little bit of a market overview and update of where we are with Bitcoin and everything else. So do stick around for this video if you do want to kind of get more of a nitty-gritty understanding of where we are in the crypto markets. Kind of looking at today versus last year and other market cycles and where we could potentially be in a year to come from now. So we can see we have actually had a lot of capitulation in the market. We're down 11.4% on the weekly Bitcoin market cap. Ethereum is actually taking a bigger hit over the week, not surprising being an altcoin, and some other blue chip tokens have taken an even bigger hit, such as Cardano minus 18%. We've got XRP down 25%. So we are seeing a lot of blood in the markets, and I do think we did have a bit of a dead cat bounce when we did get that very, very big pump to the upside. Still got extreme fear in the market, sitting at 14 on the fear and greed index. So this could still present a good time for reaccumulation if your strategy is a long-term hold. But if you're currently like altcoin heavy in your portfolio, it could be quite risky to be trying to make a quick profit right now at this particular time in the market. So we can see, looking at the weekly time frame on Bitcoin right now, the thing I'm seeing that stands out the most is the relative strength index. When we had back here in March 2020, we had the COVID-19 anomalous crash. Check out the RSI, we came all the way to 33 on the weekly time frame. Now, recently with the lunar crash, I'm going to call it the lunar FUD, the lunar crash, something like this, we come down to the very similar levels on the RSI. So it's the only time in 2 years where we've come down this low on the relative strength index. Now, when that did happen, we came down to $25,000. We got that bounce to the upside, and I think it's quite good that we got the bounce. We lost support. We put through a lower low. Finally, we've done it. We needed to do it. We needed to lose this 21st of June summer support, and I think breaking that and then flipping everything back into support is a very, very good thing. Right now, we've got some key support levels that we need to hold, such as 29.3k, and the resistance level that we're now looking at is back at $31,000 resistance for Bitcoin. So what do we think can happen? Well, I think it's important to look back at when we last crashed from 2017. We came back down to the 200-week moving average, which is this purple line right here. And the last time we touched that was with the COVID event. So every time we're on this 200-week moving average, we usually do bounce off it as support. And as close as we do get to it, this is the closest we've been to it in a very, very long time, where we did come down to this 25k level. Now, I do speculate we can come down lower if we look at the beginning of the bull run. We're still waiting to come even down to the 0.786 Fibonacci, which would actually be completely in line with the 200-week moving average. So I do predict the market cycle bottom is going to be somewhere between 20.7k and maybe 25k, somewhere within that range. I don't really see us coming below $20,000 now. I think we've had too much adoption, too much enterprise institutional money, and I think really what's happened is the market is just completely exhausted and retailers just don't have money to buy anymore. We need an accumulation range which could last for a long time. If you look at the previous market cycle, to even come back to the previous all-time high, this took 1,092 days. So to even assume, we could just use that particular data and assume 1,100 days. Maybe we don't even see an all-time high until December 2024, which is okay. It would give us a lot of time to accumulate in these lower ranges. Around here, we can have a bit of fun accumulating in these lower price levels for some time. And then maybe that's when we start to see the explosion again. No, I don't think it would look like that. I think it would probably be more kind of like coming up to the resistances, coming a bit higher, trading for a while, and then we see the $100,000+ Bitcoin. I do think it's inevitable that we will see the $100,000+ Bitcoin. So that's kind of what I think's happened here on the price structure at the moment. We are now starting to see the price slowly bottom in for Bitcoin. If we look at the BLX, however, we can speculate otherwise. This highlights market cycle tops to bottom. As you can see over here in 2011, we had a 93% correction. We had an 80% correction over here in 2013. The next cycle we saw a 85% correction from top to bottom. Then in 2017 we saw an 85% again from top to bottom. What we've had thus far is Very interesting. And what is also interesting is actually look at the monthly RSIs over here. This also does inflict that we were very much overextended and we're back in these bear market ranges. As you see with the RSI alone, it does paint a very significant picture. But you can see so far, we corrected 63%. Which does mean we have to speculate that we could come down maybe to 75%, which would be about $17,000 Bitcoin. I do think we will lose the 200-week moving average at some point. Not entirely sure when, but so far we've got the 63% correction in the market. Look at the RSI as well. You can see each time when we are in the peak of a bull market, look at the monthly RSI. Now the very peak bear market, the RSI was coming down to 43 on this BLX chart, and at the moment we're about 47. So I think we're still getting close to being bottomed out. When you look at the relative strength index, it's a really, really good indicator, especially when you look at the much longer time frames. It's a bit more accurate. So I do think, there's space that we can potentially come down. But on the bullish scenario, if we were to look at the market cycle bottom from here to this market cycle top, you had a 10,000% increase. The current previous market cycle bottom to top, we had a 2,200%. So there's been a 22x versus a 100x, which is also quite interesting to look at. If you did buy down at $3,000, you would have made a 22 times on your money over here at 66k, 100x on the previous cycle. So we're seeing that diminishing returns. That's 5 times less. You could probably assume that the next cycle will be 400% from the market cycle bottom to top. And if that should occur, we'd be looking at 500%, maybe 400%, about $130,000 Bitcoin. That's honestly the way I think this is going. We're just seeing the diminishing returns each market cycle. Now let's quickly look at the previous one. What did we get all the way up to here? 60,000, 60,000%, 10,000%, 2,000%, 400% speculative. Very, very interesting. Again, I really, really love looking at these different numbers, what I think could potentially happen. I do think a realistic target for the next bull market cycle is going to be, around those particular levels. If we look at the fib extension here, we come up to our 3.618. Let's actually get a bigger picture on that. As we can see, fib extension on this whole bull market cycle came up to the 3.618 and the 4.236. If we are to do the same, let's assume the bottom is a little bit lower at $20,000. You're looking at $192,000 and $221,000 Bitcoin for the next potential market cycles, though I think we'll be closer to the 2.272, looking around $120,000. So I hope you're following. I hope you're following and enjoying this mighty long video. We're going to talk about it all. So that's the BLX uncovered as well. Now, what about altcoins? This is the altcoin market capitalization excluding Bitcoin's valuation. So again, I do like to look at these charts. We can see we had a massive accumulation range from 2017. We came down, corrected really hard actually, guys. Let's have a look at the correction for the previous altcoin market. We came down 92%. As you see, 92% correction. This current market cycle, we've seen a 65% correction. One would assume we can come lower, maybe not 92%, maybe 80%. So we could still lose this very, very critical level of support. And if we did, we'd be coming down to that 200-week moving average, which I think is potentially gonna happen, somewhere along there. And if we did, it would take us down to those lower levels, the lower percentage levels. It depends when it happens. If it happens here, it's 72%. If it happened in July 2023, it's only, in fact, it would be positive because it's the fair value, it's the moving average, which will slow down again soon as we enter this big potential winter of cryptocurrency. Crypto winters are not very fun. So there's another sort of indicator we can look at. Altcoins are becoming stronger. What does it tell us? The alt market has more stability, more adoption. People are preferring to move money into altcoins, have portfolio diversification. We've got proof of work, we've got proof of stake, we've got layer 1 infrastructure, we've got so many different types of altcoins now compared to this particular time. We had like 3,000 unique currencies here. Now we have over 20,000 different cryptocurrencies, guys. So there's another thing to potentially consider. I also want to talk about the DXY, the strength of the dollar against other currencies. So we are seeing an influx of strength here. The DXY is back to its peaks. It's coming up. It's putting through a new high. It's even broken through this particular resistance around 102 and also 104, and it's not stopping. It's not stopping now. It's still moving rather rapidly, and I don't enjoy seeing this for the DXY. I do anticipate one day we will fall back through here and come down to lower levels. It would be great to see a 70 DXY again, or even maybe some more neutral levels around the 90 DXY mark. So far, we experienced this bull market trending from 2020, March 2020, which would have been around here. So this is when COVID began. The DXY actually held quite well. This was it. March 2020, COVID crash. You see actually the big capitulation right here. This is it. DXY came down to 94 and then recovered over to 100 the following month. Interesting. And then we took a whole dip like this during the whole crypto bull market. And it's been a long time since we've kind of had these. This was a crypto bull market here. 2017, how did that look? We had this lull, crypto bull market. And then we had this, which is the end of the crypto bull market. We came down. So maybe we will eventually come down at some point. Not really sure. I don't think we're going to see 110 plus DXY for a while, but it's not generally good for cryptocurrency when we're seeing the DXY pumping. Usually it's quite a bearish sort of situation when we're seeing the DXY take a pump to the upside. So why are cryptos crashing? Is the stock market now moving more? Is the crypto market now moving more like a stock market? The cryptocurrency market, like the stock market, has seen declines for the months. It peaked in November with an aggressive liquidity tightening signals by the Fed. All asset markets have since seen a correction. Market experts note that correlation between traditional markets and the cryptocurrency market is probably at an all-time high. If one plunges, the other will most likely follow suit, or vice versa. Experts are observing a stronger correlation between cryptocurrency and technology stocks, which were among the hardest hit stocks in the recent market slump. Take a look at Netflix, for instance. I thought crypto was a hedge against inflation. Some cryptocurrencies, particularly market giant Bitcoin, were touted as assets whose value would hold over time, which means they would be a good hedge against inflation. But as inflation has surged, Bitcoin's price more than halved, making it less attractive for investors during high spells of elevated prices, meaning you're getting less for your money, and the purchasing power is continuously reducing. I do think that in order to win in crypto, you need to buy as close to the bottom as possible and hold for 800 to 1200 days long-term investment strategy. So if you do want to begin your portfolio and your crypto journey today, you can set up an exchange using my link down below in the comment section, guys, or at the top of the description. You can buy some crypto using that link. And I do think crypto is here to stay until 2030, 40, 50. It's not going to go anywhere soon. What I think can happen in the next year or so for cryptocurrency, I do think it would be a matter of coming down back to that 200-week moving average. I want to see that happen first for crypto over here. On our Bitcoin chart, this is what I think needs to happen. We do come down to this 200-week moving average. So I think inevitably we're going to see more downside continuation, get down to that 200-week moving average, and then we spent a while sort of trading sideways. We put some highs, we put some lows back in, we get a big capitulation wick, and then the bull market sort of re-immerses after the halvening, and that's a long period of accumulating Bitcoin in this nice undervaluation phase, because we are still really overextended on 200-day moving average, the 20-week moving average, as well as the 20-day moving average, and we're overextended on our 200-week moving average at the moment as well, which for me it makes me not want to accumulate as much as I really should be doing. So because I was quite lucky, I bought this dip here in the COVID 2020 crash, so I've experienced how it feels to ride a particular investment all the way to the top. It feels pretty phenomenal. So for me, it never makes sense to buy anywhere near the top when there's extreme greed. It's always extreme fear market situations where you want to be accumulating more cryptocurrencies, and you know that should be your stable coins, your top 10 blue chips. And of course, if you want to add some altcoins in, it's never a problem, but just know that the risk potential is much higher risk, high reward scenario. So that's about a wrap really of what I think is going on in the crypto market. I think very weak like externalities, inflation, high interest rates, DXY, you know, lots of uncertainty when we've seen what happened with the stablecoin Luna. You know, it's not good for the reputation of cryptocurrency, but I do think it's absolutely here to stay. And in the next market cycle or two, we're going to see some incredibly high prices for Bitcoin. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you do like, thumbs up, comment down below. Come say hello in the Discord channel. You can join just using the link down the bottom here. And make sure you enter my $100 Twitter giveaway. As you see, we're about 9 days away from announcing the winner. Actually, just 8 days. So quickly get yourself over there before it's too late to submit and enter. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye now.